All right, right there, a live picture of the U.S. Capitol tonight, where the U.S. House voted just a few moments ago to pass the Senate's version of the Fiscal Cliff Bill. That vote was 257 to 167. 217 votes are needed to pass that. And we've just learned that President Obama is expected to speak from the White House press room. There you see a live picture of that at 11:20 tonight, in just about 6 minutes. And we will dip into that and hear what the president has to say just as soon as he arrives there in the press room. All right, Iran says it has successfully tested advanced missiles fired from its Navy ships, and it also claims to have warned away several foreign spy drones. Iran held several days of exercises near the Strait of Hormuz. That's a key corridor used by a lot of oil ships. The Iranian Navy says it's launched new cruise missiles and surface-to-surface missiles. Experts think it may be a show of force to influence other states in the Middle East. International Business Times also reports Iran claims to have warned off dozens of drones. Thieves hit a science center in North Carolina, taking off with more than 100 rare meteorites. This happened at the Pisgah Astronomical Research Institute in Rossman. The meteorites are worth $80,000. Investigators say they did arrest one man, but are still looking for another suspect. We're getting a better look at the damage to school buses in Isle of Wight County and how the district is dealing with that damage. Someone hit 17 buses over the Christmas break. They've been repaired enough that kids should be able to get to school on time tomorrow. A bus driver we spoke with says the repairs couldn't come soon enough.
Very fortunate for us, because this would have put the north end of the county out of commission. It obviously had to be kids, because there was candy taken off of some of the buses, and so hopefully they'll find the culprits.
Now, so far, officers haven't said who they think did the damage. Tonight, a group is calling for an investigation into the accrediting agency's decision to put UVA on warning. This all goes back to the messy and failed bid to toss school president Teresa Sullivan. After a revolt by students and faculty and an ominous letter from the governor about getting control of the situation, UVA's board brought Sullivan back. The accrediting agency put the school on warning over the leadership fight. Now the American Council of Trustees and Alumni say the agency overstepped its authority. And the moves are starting already in the vote 2013. Attorney General Ken Cuccinelli names a campaign manager for his run for governor. Dave Rexroad used to be the head of the Virginia Republican Party. Cuccinelli became the presumptive GOP nominee after Lieutenant Governor Bill Bolling announced he would not seek the party's nomination.
Now your 13 News Weather Authority forecast. Here's meteorologist Evan Stewart.
Well, we did get a little bit of a break from the rain a little bit earlier this evening. Now we're seeing some of that moderate rain move back into the region. Here's live high-definition radar. And again, where we have that yellow, that's indicating some of that more moderate rain across portions of Chesapeake and then back west of Interstate 95. As we zoom into Chesapeake and Virginia Beach, you can see some of that light to moderate rain, some heavier rain up around Shore Drive as you're heading along the Chesapeake Bay and down towards the Nimmo section of the city. Up across the peninsula, mainly some light rain up around the Colonial Williamsburg area and down through the peninsula and Newport News, and some light to moderate rain back in Suffolk right now as well, with that heavier rain extending over towards the Great Dismal Swamp and also down through parts of North Carolina. Again, mainly some light to moderate rain out there, and it is rain with temperatures that are still in the 40s. Earlier today, we were at 48 degrees. We've only fallen 3 degrees to 45. 46 on the peninsula, so it's because of those warmer temperatures that, again, everything is falling right now in the form of rain. Some of the cooler temperatures right now, Richmond is at 40, 43 in Gloucester and Melfa, 42 in Smithfield, but 46 in Chesapeake, and still holding on to that 49-degree reading in Hertford and Elizabeth City, 45 in Hampton, 45 in Williamsburg, and 41 up in West Point. Again, we have seen that rain as we have gone through the day today. It extends all the way back to the Texas coastline, and we are picking up a little bit of snow once you get back into the mountains of Virginia. But again, temperatures here just a little bit too warm right now to see anything fall but rain. And that's what we're calling for here with our futurecast. At midnight, cloudy skies, rain widespread across the region. Temperatures off to the north in the lower 40s. But again, still warm enough that we are talking about rain. And we're still holding on into the upper 40s to lower 50s down through North Carolina. Now, the cold air will start to try to move in later tonight. We'll stop it here at 2:30. And some of these blue colors up here indicating the possibility of some mixed precipitation, maybe a little bit of snow. That's up towards the Richmond area. Can't totally rule out up through Williamsburg, James City County, Newport News, even the Middle Peninsula, Northern Neck, Eastern Shore, that there could be a wet snowflake or two mixed in, but not looking at a big deal with temperatures today up into the 40s. The ground is just too warm to have any kind of accumulation. Notice by 6 a.m. as that cold air starts to move in, the rain is starting to move out as some drier air moves in So even though at 6 o'clock in the morning it'll be 36 in West Point, that rain will be moving out. We'll still be in the 40s here across the south side down into North Carolina. And by the noontime hour, the rain is gone and the clouds are starting to clear out as well. Look at temperatures, though, quite a bit cooler than what we saw today. We'll look for highs only in the lower 40s. We'll say about 42, 43 degrees for an official high temperature. And partly sunny skies as we head home tomorrow afternoon, 5 o'clock. Temperatures right around 40 degrees and partly cloudy skies through tomorrow evening. How much rainfall are we talking about over the next 24 hours? About 1/4 to 1/3 of an inch across the region, maybe a little bit more down in North Carolina where we have seen some of that heavier rain. And again, as far as that snowfall goes, again, we're not looking at anything in the area for the next 24 hours. You have to head up towards Charlottesville maybe to get a dusting on some grassy surfaces. So our forecast then for tonight calling for just some occasional rain when switching around to the north. We'll go for an overnight low down around 38 degrees, but again, above freezing, so we are talking about rain. Same thing for that morning commute. Those showers will be ending, though, by the late morning. A temperature around 39 degrees, and by the afternoon commute, 42, partly sunny and chilly. Clouds still hang in a little bit as we head into Thursday, 43 degrees for a high temperature. Lots of sunshine on Friday, high temperature of 44, and we warm up as we head into the weekend, 47 Saturday, 49 Sunday with mostly sunny skies, and we're up into the lower 50s by the time we get into Monday and Tuesday. So a little bit of a wet commute tomorrow morning, but improving conditions by the afternoon.
All right, Evan, thanks so much. We're going to the White House now. President Obama.
We've done that. Thanks to the votes of Democrats and Republicans in Congress, I will sign a law that raises taxes on the wealthiest 2% of Americans while preventing a middle-class tax hike that could have sent the economy back into recession and obviously had a severe impact on families all across America. I want to thank all the leaders of the House and Senate. In particular, I want to thank the work that was done by my extraordinary Vice President Joe Biden, as well as Leader Harry Reid, Speaker Boehner, Nancy Pelosi, and Mitch McConnell. Everybody worked very hard on this, and I appreciate it. And Joe, once again, I want to thank you for your great work. Under this law, more than 98% of Americans and 97% of small businesses will not see their income taxes go up. Millions of families will continue to receive tax credits to help raise their kids and send them to college. Companies will continue to receive tax credits for the research that they do, the investments they make, and the clean energy jobs that they create. And 2 million Americans who are out of work, but out there looking, pounding the pavement every day, are going to continue to receive unemployment benefits as long as they're actively looking for a job. But I think we all recognize this law is just one step in the broader effort to strengthen our economy and broaden opportunity for everybody. The fact is, the deficit is still too high, and we're still investing too little in the things that we need for the economy to grow as fast as it should. And that's why Speaker Boehner and I originally tried to negotiate a larger agreement that would put this country on a path to paying down its debt, while also putting Americans back to work, rebuilding our roads and bridges, and providing investments in areas like education and job training. Unfortunately, there just wasn't enough support or time for that kind of large agreement in a lame duck session of Congress. And that failure comes with a cost, as the messy nature of the process over the past several weeks has made business more uncertain and consumers less confident. But we are continuing to chip away at this problem, step by step. Last year, I signed into law $1.7 trillion in deficit reduction. Tonight's agreement further reduces the deficit by raising $620 billion in revenue from the wealthiest households in America. And there will be more deficit reduction as Congress decides what to do about the automatic spending cuts that we have now delayed for 2 months. I want to make this point. As I've demonstrated throughout the past several weeks, I am very open to compromise. I agree with Democrats and Republicans that the aging population and the rising cost of health care makes Medicare the biggest contributor to our deficit. I believe we've got to find ways to reform that program without hurting seniors who count on it to survive. And I believe that there's further unnecessary spending in government that we can eliminate. But we can't simply cut our way to prosperity. Cutting spending has to go hand in hand with further reforms to our tax code so that the wealthiest corporations and individuals can't take advantage of loopholes and deductions that aren't available to most Americans. And we can't keep cutting things like basic research and new technology and still expect to succeed in a 21st century economy. So we're going to have to continue to move forward in deficit reduction, but we have to do it in a balanced way, making sure that we are growing even as we get a handle on our spending. Now, one last point I want to make. While I will negotiate over many things, I will not have another debate with this Congress over whether or not they should pay the bills that they've already racked up through the laws that they passed. Let me repeat. We can't not pay bills that we've already incurred. If Congress refuses to give the United States government the ability to pay these bills on time, the consequences for the entire global economy would be catastrophic, far worse than the impact of a fiscal cliff. People will remember back in 2011, the last time this course of action was threatened, our entire recovery was put at risk. Consumer confidence plunged, business investment plunged, growth dropped. We can't go down that path again. Now, today's agreement enshrines, I think, a principle into law that will remain in place as long as I am president. The deficit needs to be reduced in a way that's balanced. Everyone pays their fair share. Everyone does their part. That's how our economy works best. That's how we grow. The sum total of all the budget agreements we've reached so far proves that there is a path forward, that it is possible, if we focus not on our politics, but on what's right for the country. And the one thing that I think hopefully in the new year we'll focus on is seeing if we can put a package like this together with a little bit less drama, a little less brinksmanship, not scare the heck out of folks quite as much. We can come together as Democrats and Republicans to cut spending and raise revenue in a way that reduces our deficit, protects our middle class, provides ladders into the middle class for everybody who's willing to work hard. We can find a way to afford the investments that we need to grow and compete. We can settle this debate, or at the very least, not allow it to be so all-consuming all the time that it stops us from meeting a host of other challenges that we face. Creating jobs, boosting incomes, fixing our infrastructure, fixing our immigration system, protecting our planet from the harmful effects of climate change, boosting domestic energy production, protecting our kids from the horrors of gun violence. It's not just possible to do these things, it's an obligation to ourselves and to future generations. And I look forward to working with every single member of Congress to meet this obligation in the new year. And I hope that everybody now gets at least a day off, I guess, or a few days off, so that people can refresh themselves, because we're going to have a lot of work to do in 2013. Thanks, everybody. Happy New Year.
All right, President Obama commenting tonight after a vote in the House to avoid the fiscal cliff, that vote 257 to 167. The president there acknowledging more work needs to be done to cut spending, and that work will be tough going forward. Don't forget, 13 News has crews in Washington, D.C. following the latest developments on all of this fiscal cliff stuff. Dave Cassidy and Sue Turner. And our first or next report on the fiscal cliff negotiations and the passage tonight in the House, Dave Cassidy, tomorrow morning on 13 News Daybreak starting at 4:30 a.m. Quick break and we'll be back.
Today's weather segment is brought to you by Michael & Son Services.
Join me weekdays at 4 right here on 13 News.
The Chevy's Giving More year-end event is almost over, as all good things must come to an end.
There's still so many great deals.
Time is running out on your chance to get a great deal on the all-new Malibu, the Red Hot Cruise, the versatile Equinox.
Let's take a test drive.
And the legendary Silverado. Chevy's Giving More at the year-end event. Don't miss out. Chevy's Giving More. This holiday season, get a 2013 Malibu LS for around $189 per month, or get a $1,000 holiday bonus cash.
There are places I remember all my life. though some have changed, and these places had their moments. With lovers and friends, I still can recall in my high life, I loved you more, I loved you more.
It's perfect!
Didn't get what you wanted? Then come celebrate the Hyundai Holiday Sales Event with a new Santa Fe, or get $1,500 holiday bonus cash on every new Sonata with no payments until March 2013.
It's perfect.
And now it's the perfect time to drive the all-new 2013 Santa Fe for $269 a month. $269 a month. See your Hampton Roads Hyundai dealer today.
When you're looking for morning news that's to the point,
you turn to 13 News Daybreak.
A newscast with personality and all the information you need.
When you're ready to experience a newscast unlike any other in Hampton Roads.
Wake up with 13 News Daybreak.
Well, did you see today's Rose Bowl parade? One of the highlights was a wedding right in the middle of the parade. And the happy couple is from Chesapeake. Congratulations to Gerald Spazienza and Nicole Angelillo. They were once high school classmates and won the parade wedding in a nationwide Facebook contest. That's pretty cool, right?
Yes,
from Chesapeake. Congratulations to them. All right, and that's 13 News at 11. 13 News Daybreak once again starts at 4:30 tomorrow morning with the latest from Washington on the Fiscal Cliff, your weather as well. As always, the latest news available on our website, WVEC.com. Don't forget, Nightline is next. More on the Fiscal Cliff. And starting January 8th, Jimmy Kimmel Live will move to 11:35, followed by Nightline. Have a good night, everyone.
WVEC 13 News is a part of BELO. From coast to coast, BELO Media Company share the highest standards of journalism and community service. Listed on the New York Stock Exchange as BLC.